Hey gang, Uncle Todd and Sunny here, and we're looking at episode 2 of Criminal Minds Evolution for this season. Um, we have a husband and wife who've been grabbed, and the husband is tortured by having his eyes poked out, but they don't show it, thankfully. Meanwhile, Voit is refusing to even acknowledge JJ is, in the cell with, or well, not in the cell, but in the room. So we're at a standstill there. Tyler manages to track down the office where the payments for the strike team had come from, and he suggests a stakeout. Well, Tara agrees to stake it out with him because they're not going to let him do it alone because, he's got a habit of going off, bending or breaking the rules to get what he wants. Ends justify the means kind of thing. So that way Tara is out of the office in case Rebecca comes by because she's their liaison. Anyway, JJ finally gets Voit to talk by playing on the fact that he really, really misses his family. And he agrees to cooperate. At first, he wants his wife and kids to visit him, and JJ's like, that's not going to happen, and you know it. They will not come. But I will try to get your wife to open up your next letter, because she's always been sending them back unopened. So he agrees, and he starts to talk. Meanwhile, the two bodies have shown up, and Emily, because of the missing eyes, is convinced this is Gold Star, even though he was supposed to go underground. So she and Rossi then head out to go talk to the victim's son, who was in rehab. See if there's information. Meanwhile, at the stakeout, Rebecca shows up to join them. She's been ordered to join them at the stakeout, in which Tyler is now forced to sit there and listen to them bicker. At which point he jumps out and says, "Hey, there's a vegan place down the block. Let's get some food." And he runs off. Meanwhile, Voit says that Gold Star is not an assassin. He has talked to him, and they discussed social contamination. One person infects another person, and then they affect two people, and so on and so on and so on. But JJ pushes a little too far, and he clams up. Rossi and Emily question the son. He blames himself. And Mom had sent him to rehab. His father didn't want to because he had taught at a behavior modification program. But they can find no record of him having... They can't even find a record of a place of a program like that having been existed. So Emily wants to go ahead and give the profile as Gold Star, and Rossi talks her out of it. They have no real proof it's Gold Star. It could be connected. It probably won't be. He just can't see it. So she holds off. The vegan food has done a number on Tyler, and he's gone off to the bathroom, and he's gone quite a while. And once he's gone, Tara and Rebecca, they air out their grievances finally, and they come to a better understanding of each other. Basically, they were both protecting each other because they didn't want them to be put in the line of danger and killed. Anyway, actually, Tyler broke into the office they were staking out and searches it. The only thing he can really find is 3 passports, same picture, different names. When he returns to the car, he does not say he broke into the office. Keeps that to himself. No, that's going to come back on him. Anyways, they're called back in by Emily. They have been contacted by Voigt's lawyer, and JJ is now not allowed to talk to Voit. Period. So they do a little back and forth and decide Luke will be the one to go in. He's the one who actually made the arrest, but he needs to act scared so that Voit thinks he has the upper hand. Well, while JJ and Luke go to do that, Garcia has found that there is a new victim who's been taken. And Rossi and Emily then talk to the daughter who was left, was taken right out of her house. And they learned two important things. One, her mom was a receptionist at an asylum. She's worked in several. And two, the abductor did not have laces on his shoes. Now, all the victims so far have had their laces removed. That is a thing that they do in hospitals and rehab centers and things, so that they can't injure themselves. Garcia manages to connect the husband, the first husband victim, and this latest kidnap victim. They both worked at a place called Stewart House, and it takes her a little time, but she manages to find the old address. So they get a strike team ready, and they head out and arrive just in time, because he had been torturing her with a cattle prod, and he was getting ready to use his knife on her when they arrive. And he is a former inmate / patient here, and he was abused mercilessly by the staff, and he is doing this to protect future children from having to go through this by these despicable people. Emily says, we understand what's happened. Put down the knife and we can talk. And he's like, nobody ever listens to it. We will listen. I just need to know about Gold Star. And this confuses him. He doesn't know anything about something called Gold Star. They don't really know anything. And he goes to kill his latest victim, and Rossi shoots him. At this point, Emily realizes she's been tunnel visioned, and she's caused this man to not be taken into custody where he could have gotten help, but instead he's had to have been, for want of a better term, put down. Meanwhile, Luke has actually gotten Voit to talk, and Voit explains to him Gold Star is not what they think. Their entire profile is incorrect. He's not an assassin. He's not a rogue agent. He's a conspiracy theorist. You see, he thought he was working for the good guys because they told him a lie. But now he's realized what the lie is. So he's now going about spreading the truth as he sees it. And it's a very easy thing to do. And to prove it, he gets Luke to come up close to him, and he whispers something to him. And this flips Luke out, and he attacks Voit through the bars. And he gets pulled off, and he's screaming, "That's not true! You're full of it! That's not true!" And of course, JJ's been outside observing all this, and when the door opens, Voit looks out at her and says, how long do you think that contagion will take to spread? Well, there's one thing I'm not understanding. Well, I understand the director because he's trying to keep whatever Gold Star's going to do, trying to keep the lid on that. But the fact this guy's not really cooperating makes you wonder how in the world this deal is ever going to be finished. Because he's just playing them. And it is obvious. But maybe whenever they get around to Rossi questioning him, because they've got to have that come out eventually. Because I think he's the one Voit really wants to talk to. Then maybe we'll get something really meaty, I guess you could say. That he'll give actually real information than what he's been giving, which is just dribs and drabs of bits and pieces around the edge. But yeah, really good episode. Nobody comes off looking really good here, except maybe Rossi, because he did not believe, he was open-minded enough to not just buy into, because of the similarity of the eyes being injured, that this was Gold Star. But Emily was just so focused on that because she wants to stop the killings and she wants to keep Voit from getting out of prison with his deal. And so that anger is really their argument was really good. And started to worry about Rossi because those visions, he's actually conversing with it. Although nobody's seen him do it yet, it's only a matter of time. So yeah, that was a good episode. Please hit like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.